Good morning, people young in body, young in spirit, young saints of all ages. Good morning. We are delighted that you're with us today. This morning, I want to talk to you a little bit about breathing because we talk a lot about breathing at our church. And you may wonder, why do we talk about breathing so much? Breathing is really simple. See, I did it. It's done. But it's actually a really big deal. And here's what I want you to know about breathing. Did you know that every living thing, no matter how big or how small, breathes? Every single living thing breathes. The biggest animal we've ever known about, the blue whale that's bigger than any dinosaur, breathes. Did you know a blue whale can hold its breath for an hour and a half? I don't know how long you can hold your breath. I'm going to try really quick. You try with me. Let's see how long we can all hold our breath. You ready? Inhale, hold it. I probably couldn't go much longer than that. Maybe you can beat me because you're awesome at stuff. But a blue whale can do it for an hour and a half. But after that hour and a half, it comes back up to the water again and it has to breathe. Let me see if I can share my screen. Can you see this blue whale right here? This big old whale right there at the top of his body. That's where his nostrils are. That's where his blowhole is. And did you know also that itty bitty tiny tiny teeny little things also breathe? Every living thing breathes. This crazy little buddy is called a pseudoscorpion. I didn't even know a pseudoscorpion existed. But these things can hold their breath for 17 days. Not just an hour, not just a few minutes. They can hold their breath for 17 days. And she's just hanging out there. But if you put her in water, she could hold her breath for at least 17 days. Every living thing breathes. So your breath, when you take a deep breath in and out, it connects you to every other living thing. We are a part of a great big family of living things that are all breathing in and breathing out together. So if you close your eyes and take a deep breath in, see how many animals, how many plants, how many people you can imagine breathing with you at the same time. When you take a deep breath in, a tiny little flower takes a breath out. And when you breathe out, a great big tree takes a breath in. God has a lot of names and a lot of faces in the Bible. There are so many ways that we can know God, but one of the names for God is actually breath. When we call God spirit, we're actually using a word that means breath. So God is just like your breath. It's invisible energy that flows into and out of you and makes you alive. God is like the breath, the energy that makes us all alive and connects us to each other. So when you take a deep breath, it's not just, it's actually God close to you, making you alive and connecting you to every other living thing. And if God makes us a family of living things, then we know that a family's job is to take care of each other, right? I see some of our young saints sitting with parents who have great big arms that love you and give you big squeezes, and they take care of you. They make sure you have all the things that you need and make sure that you're safe. If you're in the family of living things, it's our job to take care of each other, right? Because our breath makes us a family and families take care of each other. Now, as you probably know, right now in our country, there are a lot of people, specifically Black and brown people, who are being hurt and sometimes being killed. And many of them are saying, I can't breathe. There are people who are making it hard for me, impossible for me to breathe. And we know that that's super unfair because every living thing in this family together is supposed to be breathing together. God gave these people breath and nobody should take it away. We know that Black and brown people are a beautiful, essential part of God's family who deserve the right to breathe. Every living thing deserves the right to breathe. And that's part of what makes us God's family. So, Here's our job. When we breathe in, we're connected to everybody else. When we breathe out, we remember that it's our job as a family to protect each other's right to breathe. Nobody is alone in God's family. And until every person, every black and brown person can breathe freely, the whole family of living things is in danger. It's not the way it should be yet. So that's part of why we make such a big deal about breathing at our church, is that we remember that every living thing breathes, that our family of living things is united by our breath, that God is that breath that makes us alive, and that as families, we take care of each other. So we make sure that anyone who says, I can't breathe, we come close and we protect them and we love them and we try to make them safe so that all of us get to breathe together in the family of living things. So I want you to remember that next time you take a deep breath, you're never alone. God unites you to every other living thing with that breath, and we are part of a family that takes care of each other. Amen.